Many blessings to you all. I hope that you're doing wonderful. I was inspired to come on, and although this is not part of the mystery teachings, I was inspired to share a little bit about finding our tribes, finding your tribe, and the benefits that finding our tribe can help in so many different ways, in so many amazing ways. There's a lot of isolation going on right now with all that's going on around the world. And interestingly enough, for those who have ascension, this isolation is more prevalent, right? Um, we don't always seem to be able to connect, or resonate with certain groups, people, our families, our friends, and they may not be able to resonate with you, um, as the illusion of this separation continues to become expansive in the old world collapsed and the new earth, right? And so finding your tribe, by the way, we all come here with a tribe. The members of those tribe, the tribe members, I should say, come and go in our lives. They could be teachers, they could be students, they could just be tribe members that cross our path for a period of time and then move on their journey as you do the same. But that soul tribe that's close to our hearts is usually the tribe that agreed to come here in this timeline. We've traveled many, many times together in previous timelines, and now in this incredible transition, we find ourselves finding each other, right? Finding each other. And so there's a beautiful love and support that is shared when we come together and discover some of our tribe members and when we collaborate together, right? And so, how do we do that? How can, especially we're feeling isolated, isolation because of the circumstances of life, or isolated because we may not know someone, right? Of course, looking, seeking, being open to finding groups, gathering groups that share in your passion for spirituality, for growth, for ascension, and ideally to be able to find those groups in an area where you can actually attend, physically. But of course, if that is not a possibility, then really, I'll tell you, most of the time we can make those connections with people all over the world. And many, many of my students are actually from all over the world. And we share a deep love and a deep connection regardless of the physical time, linear time that exists between us. We stay in touch, we share texts, messages, emails, and we even go on Zoom and have sessions or group gatherings. I have many shamanic tribes in which we collectively come together to learn, but to also share and see where everyone is at and to collaborate, to share in the gift of love and creativity. And so, if you are not able to find a group of like-minded individuals who may be in your area, then I would recommend that you take some time to look at groups in any of the social media, of course, Facebook, where you can create a group or become part of a group, and to explore it to see where the energy of these groups maybe without a judgment, to see if it has a resonation with you, right? If there's liked mind, desires and passions and commitments to work, in unison with the earth and with humanity. So I think that that would be a great start. I actually have a group on Facebook that is called The Healing Portal, and it's grown over the last 2 years. Most of the time, I am like the host that'll post, the inspirational messages, the images, just to keep everybody inspired. But there is a lot of exchange in the group, and I love it when I post something and somebody will pop in to tell me that I spoke to them or that the message really resonated with them. And so you can take a look at that. I'll put it in the description. But there's many groups out there that really work together in collaborating. Collaborating. Speaking of the word collaborating, when a tribe comes together, it is amazing, excuse me, how the soul members bring something very unique to the group. One of them may be a writer, one of them may be an artist, one of them may be a light worker, and so on and so forth. And it creates such a beautiful, harmonious family when you can collaborate and create together and have a vision together, and sharing your gifts as well. So I find that it's really important because I observe from the many messages, private messages, by the way, that I get, where there is a great sense of isolation, of people not, I almost observe that there's two different sort of groups. The ascended group of the collective, which is holding a field, doing their part in inspiring people and sharing, and just uplifting, right? And then there's another group that, because of the circumstances, especially what's happened over the last 2 years, that are very despondent, very disconnected from society and from themselves, And of course, we can observe how that may have occurred. But the concern with that is the disconnection, right? Because when we disconnect from others, we start to disconnect from ourselves. And when we disconnect from ourselves, we're disconnecting from life. And that disconnection is actually being replaced by a lot of social media, I'm going to say the metaverse being one of them, and just everything that we use in technology. Separate from what's happened over the last couple of years, we can observe that technology has really started to replace the human connection. And we spend more time stuck in our phones, on some kind of computer or social media venue than we do in connecting with nature and connecting with the people that we should be connecting with, right? And the interaction, the energy exchange, the everything that happens that is so very important for the unification, right, of the earth, of ourselves, and how that unification energy is fueled to bring us and move us forward. So although it is an observation, it is also a calling as an elder shaman that is so very important for us to not lose our connection to ourselves, our connection to nature, our connection to Mother Earth, to the universe, to the collective, right? And if we endeavor to move and forge ahead into this new paradigm successfully, then we have to come together, you know, and we do that from the heart center. And in order to be in the heart center, we need to be open, from an energy of love, right? And so when there is a disconnection, even if it derives from, say, depression, of isolation, or even fear, it doesn't really matter where it derives from. The isolation in itself, the disconnection, is what really can change our energy field into not such a pleasant one, and can actually deter us from moving forward energetically, from having those wonderful experiences, and sharing that we know is possible, as we enter this new shift of unity, right? And so it is very important that we do not lose our connection. It begins with yourself, with earth, with nature. Go out, spend time in nature, spend time in the company of animals, of the butterflies, of the birds, of the trees, of the grass. Of course, that's what shamans do as earth keepers. But it is so much more than that when we share in the unification of that love with Mother Earth and nature. It expands to all humans, to all of humanity. And so whether we realize it or not, we are creating an energetic field that's feeding everyone, right? And so, and of course, the human connection of being able to interact and exchange with like-minded individuals. It is so very important, supportive, and it creates the energy of harmony. And so I hope that this message speaks to you in some way. I hope that you're enjoying the videos. And of course, I invite you to please, if the message in any way resonates, to help us grow the channel so that we can reach others who may not be receiving this message. And of course, with all the social media censoring, we could really use your help. If this message is resonating with you, please take a moment to like it, to share it on your timelines, or in any other social media outlet where you feel that someone may come across this message and be inspired today. Yes. And of course, as always, I leave you with my love, with my light, and with my peace. I am headed out to New York today to do some mission work and to visit my son. So I may not have a video for a couple of days, but I definitely will be back. And until then, don't forget that I love you so very much. So many blessings.